Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Blessing again. Have you missed me? Because I've missed you too. And if you haven't missed me, it's because you're new to the channel. So I think the best way to rectify that is to subscribe so we can just move past this awkward stage and get comfortable. So welcome to Monday Night Gist with Blessing. Of course I'm Blessing. Okay, so today, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about intertribal dating. I just thought it's an interesting topic to kick off Monday Night Gist with. So if you don't know, intertribal dating is, as the name implies, when you date outside of your tribe. So when you date intertribally. And you might be thinking, like, isn't it just like one big Nigeria? Why is it like a divide? Why is it an issue? But actually, I think you'll find that it's actually quite a big thing, and maybe not necessarily people themselves. So maybe not people like in this generation have an issue with it, but like their parents or like their family members might have an issue with them trying to marry outside of their tribe. And obviously the same way interracial dating has always been around, people have always married outside of their race, so is people always married outside of their tribe, but it's just not always been accepted or normal. So basically in Nigeria there are a lot of different tribes, but there are three major tribes that you might have heard of, which is Yoruba, Hausa and Igbo. I cannot pronounce Hausa to save my life, so yeah, so those are the three major tribes. And I think for some reason I also feel like those are the three main, like, very patriotic tribes. Those are the three main tribes that are like, we marry our own. And as a matter of fact, it even sometimes go beyond intertribal. It can sometimes be interstate. So before I tell you guys my opinion on intertribal dating, I want you to comment down below your opinion on intertribal dating. What do you think? You know, do you think it's okay? Have you ever experienced it as an issue, or are you in an intertribal relationship? Like, how do you find it? Do you think there's any difference between dating someone of another tribe and dating someone of your own tribe? Do you prefer it? Is it your preference to date outside of your tribe or inside of your tribe? And if it is, why? Why would you rather date in your tribe? Why would you rather date out of your tribe? So comment down below. I'll just take a sip of my tea while I wait. So my thoughts on intertribal dating. Ideally, okay, like, I think if I had to put down like what would be perfect, what would be ideal on paper, I think I would probably like to end up with a Yoruba man, for I think mainly three reasons. The first is language. I'm someone who's very like proud of my language, who's very, obviously I teach Yoruba. I love the Yoruba language, and it's something I want to teach my children. It's something I want to keep going on. And I think it would be really, really ideal, it would be really nice if if me and my partner or my husband could speak Yoruba in our house, and that way our kids would also be able to learn. Because if me and my husband are speaking Yoruba, then my kids would be able to hear it and they'll be able to learn, you know, faster. But if I speak Yoruba and my husband speaks a different language, we're only going to communicate in English, which means our kids will only hear English in the house. And so you'd have to like do more to teach the kids. You have to make an extra effort, and realistically the way life is set up, people rarely have the time to sit their kids down and start teaching them from scratch. Whereas if you speak Yoruba or Igbo or whatever language you speak in your house, it will be easier for your kids to just hear and like learn. And also it's just nice when you're out and you can like say stuff to your partner in your language, and you know, maybe other people don't understand, and it's just like your little secret, it's your own little, you know, it's just cute. Like, so that's one reason why being Yoruba would be ideal. Two is food. If I end up with someone and I want to make them a meal and he's Yoruba, chances are whatever his favorite meal is, I either already know how to make it, or it's something that I can make because I know how to make the dishes in that general area, if that makes sense. Whereas, for example, if my partner is Igbo and his favorite food is like, I don't know, oha, or if he's like from the south and he likes black soup, and I hear about all these kind of foods, I just don't know how to make them, or I've never really even eaten them or come across them. And yeah, I can learn, but it's not really the same as just know, because it won't be authentic. I don't know how to make it. I'm going to be going off a recipe, unless like your mom is willing to like teach me every single food in your tribe. Like, I won't know. It's just easier. I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, food might not be a big deal. For example, like, you might be like really westernized and you eat Western dishes anyway. but it's just nice because you share like the love of the same food. Food is a big deal. Listen, food is a big deal. I'm just saying. And thirdly, I think another like good reason why being from the same tribe is good is that family. I feel like if for example I'm Yoruba, and if my partner or my husband or my boyfriend, whatever, was to take me to meet his mom or his family, there's a way. I know the Yoruba culture. I know what is respectful in the Yoruba culture. There's a way I would go to her. There was a way I would approach her. Like kneeling down is respectful in our culture. If I speak to her in Yoruba, if I, you know, like there's just a certain way. Even his family, y'all call me, like there's just a way that you approach. I know the Yoruba culture. I know what's respectful. If my partner's from a different tribe and we go to his home and I don't know what is respectful in their culture, I'm sure there's obviously it'll still be fine, but it's just different. Especially if my like partner is not really in tune with this culture. He can't tell me beforehand, oh, this is what, you know, is respectful. This is what my mom would like. This is how you should behave with my mom. I won't know, he won't know, and it just won't. If I go to a different tribe and do what is respectful in the Yoruba culture, it won't have the same effect because it's not necessarily what's respectful in their culture. And if, like, let's say he brought me home and he brought a girl from their tribe home, there's a way that she would relate with the mum that I can't relate with the mum because I don't know how they do it in their culture. And I just feel like when you're from the same tribe, integrating with the person's family is just so much easier. It's like, you know what I mean? Like if you're from the same state and you go and meet the family, there's a way that you conduct yourself that they know, like, okay, this one is one of us. And you know, I'm sure some families are very open-minded and they don't mind that you're not one of them. And the mom will even be like, come to the kitchen, like, let me show you how you do this. And the mom will be willing to teach you, but not everyone is like that. And if she's already Yoruba, then it's easier. There's just no need to do the extra hurdles because it already kind of works, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think that's like on paper a few of the reasons why I would be like, you know what, yeah, being with someone who's Yoruba is ideal because it's easier. There's less to do, there's less barriers to cross. You just wouldn't have to think about if you're with someone of the same tribe. There's just things that just won't cross your mind because you're from the same culture. It just flows easier. That being said, from my personal experience, I would say that I've actually just never really noticed a difference dating someone who's Yoruba and someone being Igbo. And I say this with a disclaimer because I've only primarily experienced Nigerian British men. But I think that makes a difference because I think automatically you just have a lot more in common. And the reason why I've never really felt a difference between like dating a Yoruba and an Igbo guy is because even when I've dated Yoruba men, we don't speak Yoruba to each other. A lot of the Yoruba guys I've come across in my life either don't speak Yoruba, like they understand it but they don't speak it, or even if they do speak it, we speak English. So it's never been a situation where it's like, oh, we're together and we're speaking Yoruba to each other because we're both Yoruba. Like I don't think it's a thing that the younger generation do. I think it's like, oh, you speak Yoruba, I speak Yoruba. Once in a while you crack a joke in Yoruba, once in a while you say something in Yoruba. Like I like watching Yoruba movies, so we can watch Yoruba movies together. But beyond that, like I don't speak Yoruba to Yoruba guys that I meet. So the language thing, even though idealistically it seems like I don't know, it seems like a good idea, but like in real life I don't speak Yoruba to like Yoruba guys anyway. So that's one thing. But also I've also met Igbo guys. I'm going to mostly speak about Igbo guys because I've not really like met Hausa guys. I've never really, in London I don't think I ever met one. So most of what I know is like Igbo guys, Yoruba guys. And I know Igbo guys who are open to learning Yoruba, who know a bit of Yoruba already, like, and I'm also quite open. I like learning new languages, I like learning new culture, like I'm open to learning. And I also met people who are open to learning Yoruba. So I just don't think the language thing is honestly that big a deal. If you want to make it work, you can. It's not an issue. There's just not a difference. I can't even lie to you. My point being, I don't think your tribe necessarily necessitates how you treat someone or how good of a person you are. From my experience anyway, I've never felt like, oh, this person has treated me this way because they're Igbo or because they're Yoruba, whereas this other person has treated me better or worse. There's just not been a difference. For me, it's just I vibe, I get on with them like the same way. Even before like I speak to you and I find out where you're from, if we vibe, we just vibe. It's not a thing for me. So I think left to me, if I had a choice, I honestly wouldn't mind. I don't discriminate. I'm quite open-minded culturally, and like I want to know about your culture. I want to know about I want to know. I don't mind. I'm free. So I don't have a problem with dating intertribally. The problem is A, my parents, and B, like family members. Because to be honest, I don't think my parents are so bad that if I came home and I was like, this is the person that I want to be with, they would be like, no, we refuse. They won't be that happy, and I feel like they would, you know, try and advise me against it. But if I put my foot down and was like, this is who I want to be with, they'll just be like, you know, we've told you our own, but ultimately it's your life. Now, there are some family members that will really put my matter on their head and take it personally. I even have aunties that will be like, if they ask me about dating anyone, the first thing they will ask is he Yoruba? I hope he's Yoruba. Don't go and bring someone from this tribe. Don't go and bring someone from that tribe. Like, they take it personally. Like, I've had so many arguments. Me and my brother were open-minded, obviously, and my parents will be arguing with them. Aunties will be arguing with them. Like, we really go at it. And to be honest, I kind of get where they're coming from. Don't get me wrong. I don't not see their points of view. I get it. It's valid, it's fair. They have like a lot of experiences in their life and they've seen a lot. So I'm not invalidating their opinions whatsoever. I'm just saying a lot of it half comes from like the fear of the unknown, and a lot of it comes from stereotypes. So they can say, oh, like this tribe do this. Maybe like, let's say there's a tribe called Takiri tribe. I don't want to offend anyone. So they'll be like, oh, like Takiri people, they love money too much, they can do anything for money. And me and my brother would be like, okay, but they can say Yoruba people love money too much. They can say Yoruba people use people for rituals. They can say we're all ritualists, and we're not all ritualists. Maybe some Yoruba people love money too much. Maybe some Yoruba people do rituals, but we don't all do rituals. So the point is moot. Maybe some Takiri people love money too much, but they don't all. But they're not. You can't paint a whole tribe with one brush. And me and my brother's argument is, if I meet someone who is perfect in every way, like they're a man of God, they love God, they respect God, and they love me, they respect me, they treat me right, they're patient, they're kind, they have everything I want, and I feel like this is like God's hand is in this, God approves of this. You're telling me that because they're not from our tribe, I can't marry them? Like that's wild to me. Like, no, if they're a man of God and if they have all the godly qualities, that's what should matter, because God told us to love everyone. So why can't we, like, if you're saying, oh, I love them, we go to church with them, they're nice people, but we can't marry them, then you've not really opened your heart to them, you haven't accepted them. I don't know, I just think it's quite sad that you will shut out learning about like a whole culture and integrating with the whole culture because of what you've heard and maybe some bad experiences you've had in the past. In my family, in my extended family generally, there have been like cases of intertribal marriages that have broken down. The person from the other tribe in the marriage has like done something bad, but also I know lots of Yoruba marriages where, you know, it's broken down and it hasn't worked out. And so I don't think marriages break down or marriages have issues because it's intertribal or because of someone's tribe. It's because of the people. There are bad Yoruba people and there are good Yoruba people. There are bad Igbo people, there are good Igbo people. There are bad Hausa people, there are good Hausa people. There are bad, like, you're not good or bad because of your tribe. You're good or bad because of who you are. Anyway, this is the argument that me and my brother always put out. Like if someone's bad, they're bad, and you can say, oh, don't marry a Takiri person because you don't want them to do this, but you can marry a Yoruba person and they treat you bad and they treat you worse and you still end up in a bad marriage. Like, That's the way I see it anyway. But if I'm perfectly honest with you, and I just feel like for my sake, for my sanity, for my peace of mind, it would honestly just be easier to just marry a Yoruba man. Like, I've just accepted, I've just understood. I like, maybe I'm just too cowardly, maybe, listen, I'm not trying to fight for this love too tough. Like, we're going to be doing our own fighting in-house. I don't want to be fighting every other family member, explaining, like, worrying about, oh, I can't bring you home because you're, like, I just don't want to do it. Like, I feel like it would even be easier to marry someone who isn't Nigerian at all. It'd be easier to bring home like a white man, or to bring home like someone of a different, like someone completely different. Like, and I just don't like wala. I don't like trouble for my life. I just don't like stress. So I've kind of just convinced myself, I've told myself in my head, I'm gonna marry a Yoruba man. So because I really just don't want to have to argue. I don't have the energy. So I think I've kind of just resigned in my head that I'm probably going to be marrying someone from the same tribe as me, which is not, it's not a bad thing. I'm not against it, but you never know. You never know what the future holds. Maybe my parents will, and my family members will become more progressive. Maybe I'll become more stubborn and I'll be like, nope, this is my life, I'm going to do what I want. Or maybe, I don't know, like, I honestly, you just never know. Like, anyway, you guys stay with me, be rocking with me, subscribe. You'll see in the future, by God's grace, who I get married to. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to be ending the video here. Those are just my thoughts and some of my experiences on, you know, intertribal dating. Let me know down below, what are your thoughts? You know, what do you think of what I said? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Like, I'm open. Tell me down below. Let's have a discussion. Let's keep it popping, let's keep it fresh. But also leave down below any questions you might have, any FAQs, anything you've wondered about me or you want to know. I'll answer it in the next video. Also feel free to leave down below any suggestions on topics you want me to talk about. Like, what do you want me to talk about? What do you want us to talk about? You know, like, but also let me know how your week has been going. How's your week been going? How are you finding it? Is everything good at work? I want to know. I care about you, you know. You think I don't care about you. You think this is a one-way relationship, and it's not. I really want to know, like, what's going on in your life? What's going on in your love life? Is everything good at home? Talk to me. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Like, thumbs up, share, and comment, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.